In medical aesthetics, I will start with skin analyzers. I would not say they are 100% accurate at this moment. They are not. They are getting trained in models, right? Today, you will see any product, any cosmetic product, there are hundreds of influencers saying, I used it, so it is great. So you use it.
Yeah.
But I believe that it's going to move from that era into an era where AI will, because AI cannot be biased, right? Dermatoscopic finding from probably thousands of dermatologists, plastic surgeons, hair transplant specialists is annotated, and so the models are trained. We all know these models hallucinate, and when you keep repeatedly challenge them, they keep changing.
Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Krishina.
I think today we have a very interesting topic, which I feel like is very up and coming. The use of AI in aesthetics.
Okay.
So I have a couple of questions I really would like to ask you.
Sure.
How exactly is AI changing the way that doctors diagnose skin, hair, and aesthetics today?
I think this is a great topic, and I'm not sure whether you have seen or visited websites which are already currently using AI in the choice of cosmetics. So you have lots of websites, or even jewelry, if you take. So which cosmetic would suit me, right? So you want to put in your picture, and then you want to choose a shade of foundation, a shade of lipstick, and apply it on your image using AI and check how you would look, right? So now, because people have got used to that, right? Earlier, I think one of the earliest was cosmetic, and just looking at the cosmetic product, how it will look. It moved from there to wearing a dress and seeing how it looks on you, a sari, and then it moved into jewelry. Now it's coming into analyzing your skin. So in medical aesthetics, I will start with skin analyzers. So I would not say they are 100% accurate at this moment. They are not. They are getting trained in models, right? So there are also just purely when they are done online, and when you also use in clinic devices and the AI interpreting the result, then you get a better analysis. Like, for example, when somebody walks into our clinic, we analyze what skin type they are, and how much percentage of oil secretion they have, what is the pores, what are the photo damage that is there, what percentage of wrinkles they have. These are, we are doing it manually based on clinical experience, right? Now AI is able to analyze them through images. So that's going to be a major transformative factor. And once they analyze, now today you will see any product, any cosmetic product, there are hundreds of influencers saying, I used it, so it is great. So you use it.
Yeah.
But I believe that it's going to move from that era into an era where AI will, because AI cannot be biased, right? Once it is trained well, it's going to analyze yours and then tell you of the available product in the shelf from what it suits your pocket, what is the best option for you. Slowly, that will evolve. This is what I see when it comes to skin. Next, coming into hair, you also have AI-enabled hair analyzers. Like, one is the gross analysis, and the second one is dermatoscopic analysis. Dermatoscopic finding from probably thousands of dermatologists, plastic surgeons, hair transplant specialists is annotated, and so the models are trained. Now, if you put a dermatoscopic picture, it will exactly help you to find out these are the findings, just like in radiology, right? It makes the doctors easy, and it will help assist them not to miss out any finding. Also confirm certain finding which they are not very sure about. That's another major area where AI is going to play.
So it is more of a supporting tool.
100%. It's only a supporting. I don't think that's going to make complete diagnosis and treatment, because we all know these models hallucinate, And when you
Yes.
keep repeatedly challenge them, they keep changing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've experienced that in
Yes.
ChatGPT, right? If you ask a question, it'll give you, and if you challenge it, it'll give you another questions also sometimes. And sometimes it'll validate it also. So that's very important. It'll be a supporting tool and it'll help us, because definitely skin analyzer, hair analyzer, because at least we are moving from an area of human bias, right? I used it, so you use. It's good worked on me. All these influencers, right?
Yeah.
Celebrity marketing.
Yeah.
I think these all will go away with AI enabled tools like this. It's going to be purely AI enabled tools, is what I believe. And it's also going to translate into cosmetic surgery. So let me tell you one example. For example, let's say if you do breast augmentation. I will also like to make a disclaimer. It's not possible for the specialist to give exactly what the AI predicts, because human tissue behave differently, right? You cannot expect, but you will have an idea. For example, you have tools where you put an image of your chest, and then you can choose 250 implant, 300 implant, 350 implant, and look at what suits your body, and then decide, okay, I want approximately this size. So that's the before and after evaluation. And I think that's again going to be a major AI play in the aesthetic healthcare. But these are complete end user oriented. But the other one is, I would say, in regular functioning of the aesthetic clinic. So the process of how a patient visits a clinic, right? First, most of the time they Google search for the concern, then identify a doctor, then they fix an appointment, then they come to the clinic, then the doctor has to ask for the history. Their previous medical records we have to analyze, because all of them are well patient. Then you tell them the various treatment plan. Then they understand the pros and cons of each. And many a time patients say, you did not explain this explicitly during the consultation. It was not told very clearly. I was not clear. All of this. And then a treatment plan. Then every treatment plan can have different cost options, right? So then if you have an AI inbuilt onto the, let's say we have application where you feed in your concern, and during consultation, after consultation, you have an agentic AI helping you in the process. I feel it's going to help doctors' life much easy, and it's going to make all the decision making very transparent for the patient. And they will also understand the pricing difference between different procedures, because today there's a lot of confusion.
Yes.
Why hydrofacial done in a beauty parlor is so less compared to a hydrofacial done elsewhere. They don't understand that the machine that with which it is done there could cost just few thousands or a lakh, and so they can do it at 1,000 rupees, 1,500. Whereas another equipment, that equipment is because it will give you superior result. It is more safer. It might have a skin scanner, etc., etc. And so when performed using that, the procedure is going to be expensive. So I keep telling that in the healthcare today, we lack that clarity which is there. Let's say if you want to buy a car or a TV, you are very clear, right? You have TV, televisions worth few thousands, you have televisions worth few lakhs, you have cars worth few lakhs and few crores. And you're very well aware of the difference. There is no dispute there. You don't tell that somebody sold this, but it's not there in healthcare. So I think definitely AI is going to bring in the transparency in healthcare for patients.
Doctor, I have one more question. What's one AI innovation in aesthetics that you are really excited about in the coming future?
As a surgeon, I would say